Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Dawn of War. This time, we're playing the Ultimate Apocalypse mod for the Soulstorm expansion. I know in the previous Dawn of War video I said that I was going to play a game as every race in the game and then, then go on and try Ultimate Apocalypse, but basically while I was off here, I decided to install Ultimate Apocalypse anyway, just to check it out, and I decided that it was so damn good that I didn't actually really want to go back to playing regular vanilla Dark Crusade, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I just thought, screw it, I'll do this instead. I streamed this on Twitch the other day, and it was bloody good fun. So, we're going to continue doing more skirmish games and whatnot, but I'm going to do it in Ultimate Apocalypse, which is basically, if you're not in the know, it's a big, huge mod for the final expansion for the game Soulstorm, which adds like a couple of extra races to the game that you can play as, and loads and loads and loads and loads of new units and new parts of the tech tree and stuff like that, and huge, like, Titanic units, like, Titans. Loads of new super heavy tanks and things for factions like the Imperial Guard, and yeah, just really radically overhauls the game, adds in a load of new stuff that's in the tabletop game, and it's seriously good. It's seriously good. It's just Dawn of War, but on an even bigger scale than it was previously, essentially. And I've been enjoying the crap out of it. It doesn't have any kind of campaign mode, unfortunately. It's just skirmish and multiplayer. But even so, there's so much depth in the mechanics and stuff now that you can just spend countless hours just playing skirmish games constantly. That's what I've been doing, so that's what we're going to do today. So anyway, last time I did promise that we would probably be playing as the baddies next, so we're going to do exactly that. We're going to play as the Death Guard, one of the Chaos Legions. And what's really cool about Ultimate Apocalypse is that I can now actually play as the Death Guard properly, as in I can actually build Plague Marines, which were not in the vanilla game. You only got Khorne Berserkers, and that was it, but now you get Plague Marines, you get Noise Marines, you get Rubric Marines if you want to play Thousand Suns. You can really diversify your army to a huge degree, especially when you're playing as Chaos, in terms of what you want to build. So you can actually play games in a kind of lore-accurate manner, almost. It's very weird, but it's true. You can do exactly that. So, and my Codex Death Guard arrived today in the post for the tabletop game that just got released, and I've been looking through it and liking what I see. So I thought I'd play as the Death Guard today. I'm going to use the what are they called? The Pallid Hand, I think they're called. Yes, these guys. Here's your regular Death Guard. Don't mind the white background, by the way. That's a bug with this version of the mod for some reason. But this is your regular Death Guard, they're green. And then you've got the Pallid Hand, who are also part of the Death Guard, but they're a different, warband or company or whatever. And they have this kind of white, dirty armor with the green shoulder pads. And I saw a picture of them, a bunch of pictures of them in the Death Guard Codex, and I thought, those guys are awesome. So I went ahead and made them in this, and I do actually own some Death Guard models. I got them from the Dark Imperium starter set, which I originally just bought for the Space Marines, but it came with a bunch of Death Guard, which I did put together as well, but I didn't paint it. And I think I'm going to paint them up as Pallid Hand, because I think the Pallid Hand look pretty cool. They're all focused on armoured vehicles and armoured assaults and stuff like that, so which I quite like. Lots of tanks, so plague tanks with big plague weapons and chemical, biological warfare stuff and all that kind of thing. That's what the Death Guard are about. They're good fun. So yeah. The only problem is, of course, at the moment, you can't really buy most of the Death Guard models yet. Games Workshop went ahead and released the codex for them, but 90% of the actual units you can't buy yet, because they've not released the models for them, which is really amusing, because I went online on the Games Workshop site thinking, right, gonna get myself some Pallid Hand, let's have a look, what can we get? And then I realised there's nothing there. You can get Mortarion, the Lord, Demon Primarch of the Death Guard, and you can get his Death Shroud Terminator bodyguards, and that's pretty much it. That's all you can get at the moment. Games Workshop haven't actually released the bloody models yet, so that's quite funny. But anyway, we can certainly play them in Dawn of War. That's what we're going to do. I think... Let's see, well, we played Imperial Guard last time, after making up for our initial defeat, playing as the Space Marines. So we'll play as Death Guard, and we'll just have a straight-up slugging fest with the Imperial Guard, why not? So it'll be a bit of a shooting match, since we're going to be playing Death Guard rather than, Khorne Berserkers or whatever. So, let's see. Should we do a 2v2? Do a 2v2. Okay, I'm not going to use Chaos Trenches, because every time I try and use that map, normally it crashes during the loading screen, so let's try something else instead. Erase Badlands, Forgotten Isles. That could work, actually, I suppose. Gorehell Crater, German's Pass, Ice Flow, Into the Breach, Janus Savannah, Lake Acrimony, Luther Bay, Marconia, Mountain Trail. We already did that one. That was the first video. Murad Swamplands. Maybe, actually. I don't know. Lost Temple, Northandia, Nuked City, Obalon. It's a Tyrannid map, that one, really. Rockclaw Foothills, maybe? Alright, we'll go with that. Actually, before I do. God damn it, the music, for some reason in this mod, is just annoyingly loud. Go away. It's all probably like stuff that's going to get picked up by Content ID as well. I hate it when mods do this. They just... The vanilla soundtrack's not good enough for the mod makers, apparently, so they have to rip a bunch of stuff from movies and other games and chuck it into the game. And drives me nuts when they do that, because it causes all sorts of problems for people who want to make videos of it on YouTube like me. But never mind. Now I've lost where we were. Let's just do this one instead. The Holy City of Archon 4, there you go. Being attacked by the Death Guard. So let's see. Divide this in two. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll be the Pallid Hand, and what we'll have is we'll have one of the new races on our side, the Chaos Demons. There are a couple of new races in this mod. In fact, there's three. There's the Chaos Demons, the Inquisition Demon Hunters, and there is the Tyrannids, who are quite interesting. I haven't really played many games as the Tyrannids, and I haven't played any as Demons or Inquisition. But they are quite impressive. Completely made by mod makers and added into the game, and they look damn good. Honestly, actually, they're not bad at all. So we'll take some demons as our AI friendly player, and we'll go up against. How about some Imperial Guard? And I tell you what, we'll go up against some Space Marines. We'll go up against some Ultramarines, since. In the lore, there's a big battle going on between the Death Guard and the Ultramarines in the Ultramarines' home system of Ultramar. So this could easily fit into that, canonically speaking. So yeah, let's do that. Why not? Let's kill the filthy Smurfs. And everything here is good. Standard. I think there's a thing here I want to turn off, though, first. No. Tips and tricks, that was it. Right. There's loads of win conditions you can put in this, actually, by the way. I've not really messed around with much of this, but I'm beginning to think maybe I should, because some of them look kind of interesting. But anyway. We'll do it. Death Guard and Demons versus Imperial Guard and Space Marines. This should be fun. We should win. We should win. I don't know. Space Marines can be pretty brutal, for sure. Imperial Guard AI... occasionally it's pretty good, but a lot of the time they just seem to spam loads of low-level infantry and not really focus on tanks and artillery and stuff. So I'm not quite as worried about the Imperial Guard. So, if I had a criticism of this mod, it would be that some of the race's AI is just not quite right in the head. The Necrons are probably the worst. They behave very, very strangely. You may have been there for the stream I did, but if you weren't, basically I did a three-way game where it was me as the Imperial Guard versus Eldar and Necrons. And the Eldar were fine. They behaved fairly normally. But the Necrons basically spent the entire early phase of the game building nothing but Builder Scarabs. And I think they must have had about 20 units of Builder Scarabs and a huge horde. And then 1 unit of Necron Warriors. And that's all they built for like the good first 30 minutes of the game. Like they start slowly. That's the whole kind of point of them. They start slowly, and then in the late game they become unstoppable. But their AI in that game genuinely seemed broken, like it was that bad. I've actually tried playing as Necrons, and I have no idea how on earth you're supposed to win as them, because I keep getting stomped in the early game. But anyway, so let's build some... In fact, you know what? Forget the cultists. We'll build some renegades instead, because you can build renegades now. So, I didn't show you the vanilla chaos. Overall, very, very similar, but the difference now is that, for example, we get renegades as well as cultists, and renegades are basically like Imperial Guard squads that are evil. And these heretics, which are our builder units, who are frankly really disturbing and grotesque, you can actually reinforce them so there's more of them in a unit. So yeah, as you can see, the little dudes with their little machine guns and stuff, and they're basically like Imperial Guard squads, but they're Chaos ones, essentially. So we're in the bottom of the map, and then we've got the Chaos Demons up here on the left, as you can see here.
I tried to do your will.
Let's build another power generator.
Yes,
Don't think I've ever done this map before. Don't remember it anyway.
We're here for the dark gods.
This land we stand united under the Imperial Palace.
Let's see. Where can we send you next? Over there, I suppose.
It will be yours.
No. Now, I could build some Chaos Space Marines. I don't think I'm going to, though. I'm going to try and stick only to Plague Marines, which we'll be able to build once we get to the next tier of our HQ here. We can also grab Mark of Chaos Nurgle there, which will enable all the Nurgle units, like the Champion of Nurgle there, for us, which will be nice.
Whatever you desire.
We get, like, at super high level, like late endgame with Nurgle, you get this really cool sort of gigantic plague tank thing, which I've never been able to get around to actually building, but it looks awesome. Right.
Anything for the great powers. Thank you. Thank you, Master. Bless us, great one.
Let's get building listening posts. Oh, yep, we're under attack. Ultramarine scouts, get out of here. This is my strategic point.
It was always ours, but none may deny it now.
Excellent. You can go grab that now. I'll put a listening post on that ASAP.
Yes, yes.
So those cheeky scouts don't nick it. Some more renegades, I suppose. Actually, no. Let's cancel that and just upgrade to the next tier. Because then we can build a sacrificial circle, and then that will unlock the production of Plague Marines. Which is nice. I haven't used the Rubric Marines yet. I don't know where you get them from, actually. They're not listed here, but I've used the Noise Marines before. They're pretty damn good. And I've used Khorne Berserkers before, and they are super, super good. I haven't had quite so much luck with Plague Marines so far, but maybe we will today. We'll see.
My life is forfeit. As you wish.
Armory.
Thank you, Master.
Like Chaos Lord.
The wind carries dark whispers. It has begun. Yes,
go
Lord,
grab that point over there. And you guys can go grab this one here that I'm seeing on the minimap, but not actually in the game. Where is it? Supposed to be a strategic point here. Should be right in the middle of my screen. There it is. It's half buried in a crater. No wonder I couldn't see it. And we'll give you a champion and some grenade launchers. Same for you. Alright, we're nearly there. Let's upgrade these listening posts so they can defend themselves. Oh boy. What do we got? More scouts wandering around, okay. That's fine. I could probably do with backing these guys up with at least one unit of cultists, actually. Uh-oh. That's not good. Yeah, you guys better go over here. Oh, also, I can give you some mortars as well, which is nice. These guys, once you equip them with mortars, they're actually genuinely useful. As opposed to just sort of quick bullet shields. Bullet sponges. Oh, more incoming.
What is your will, Lord?
Anything for the great powers.
Enough power.
Anything
Oh
for
dear.
the great powers.
Well, let's.
What is your wish, great one?
The wind carries down whispers.
See if we can kill these scouts. Maybe. Oh, bloody hell! What was that? Was that the mortar? I think it was. Yeah, that's the mortar team there. All right, cool. Recapture that for me, would you?
You favor us with your attentions.
The Chaos Gods speak.
Worship Nurgle. Praise the Dark God. Since you have chosen the Mark of Nurgle, the ability will increase the maximum health of all surrounding allied troops 50 meters away from the worship. The cultists will be unable to move or do anything throughout the duration of 20 seconds. That's pretty useful, actually.
Life is forfeit.
That ain't bad. Right. We need to upgrade our power and build more power generators, basically. Probably also discover... Yeah, there's a there's a slag deposit there, which
Do you hear the voices too?
we probably want. Death Blast. Oh yeah, that's cool. You can make one of the cultists explode. Which is always good fun. Let's move you up here. Right. You...
Anything for the great
I'm
powers.
playing real slow here because I'm spending so much time talking, unfortunately. Let's send this to Chaos Lord over there. Now, the way the leaders work now is you have this screen here, and you can upgrade them on the fly with new equipment and experience levels and stuff. Like this. To make them better, as opposed to simply building them and having them exist. And that's a Space Marine bike, who is causing us problems. Right, they've got actual Space Marine squads now, which is worrisome for us because Space Marines are super durable in Ultimate Apocalypse now. Like, they're real difficult to kill. Luckily, we'll have some of our own soon. There we go. Plague Marines. Oh, yeah. Where's my Chaos Lord at? There you are. Help your minions. Right, everyone up there's probably going to die. Honestly. But that's fine. They're all pretty expendable, let's be honest. Right, let's see. A Chaos Sorcerer would be nice. Again, if I was playing, trying to keep it sort of, you know... There you are. Trying to keep it vaguely sort of lore accurate. I tend, if I'm playing World Eaters, for example, with all the Khorne Berserkers and stuff, I don't build, what am I thinking here? Sorcerers, because obviously Khorne hates sorcerers. Probably not very efficient to play that way, but I like playing in a lore accurate way. Call me a massive nerd if you like, but hey ho. Yeah, we've got a serious power shortage at the moment. Pop full. Uh-oh. I forgot to research the population limit. Oh dear. And we have a sorcerer who can just teleport straight over here. Which is good. How are these cultists still alive? Bloody hell. Remember Plague Marines? Oh, there you are. There you are. Oh my god, I think we actually killed them all. I'm impressed. There you go. There's me lovely Plague Marines. Aren't they charming? Now they have Blight Grenades, which deal small damage upon impact but corrodes armor, spreads poison, and decreases movement on impact within a radius. And Fumigating Smoke. Enemy units within the cloud suffer morale damage and reduced vision, which is nice. So, yeah.
How may we serve the ruinous powers?
So you'll notice those mortars they've got now are actually turning out to be a little bit useful because they can do quite a bit of damage from afar, from a distance where, you know, you're not necessarily in harm's way, because they're quite squishy renegades at the end of the day. But if you can have them sit behind all your tough troops and just lob mortar shells, they can actually be quite productive. Not that I'll be replacing them if they die, I'll just build more Plague Marines, speaking of which. I'm probably going to want to build a barracks up here just to start reinforcing my dudes further up the map, really. So we'll get... Oh, we've already got a listening post here that's being built.
We are the Plague God's will. Cross me and die.
Let's attach you to the cultists, why not?
What do you want?
Go get those Smurfs, kill them.
We are death and decay.
There we go. Have the cultists pin them in melee, and then just shoot the crap out of them. Beautiful. We got lots of plasma now, so that's helping. Speaking of which,
how may we serve the
I command the darker powers. Do you hear the voices too? I feel the warp overtaking me. It is a good pain.
alright, let's build a barracks there.
My life is
Let's build some turrets to defend this. Upgrade you. Get the requisition research as well. Looks like the demons are doing quite well against the guard. I thought they probably would, but looks like the Ultramarines are actually helping them out for now. Which would explain why things have been a bit light on this side. Right, let's click drag you guys and assign you to control group 1, so you're easy to select. And over here, give you guys some melter guns, because the Space Marines will probably start turning up with tanks soon enough. We need more population research, apparently, and we can go to tier 2, which is nice. Loads of research we can do, actually, now, which is cool. Yep, loads and loads. I've been slacking a bit, really. Unit Havocs wouldn't be too bad, but I'm going to see if I can do this with just Plague Marines. I'm going to see if I can, without resorting to basic undivided units. Oh, actually, you know what? Why am I building it down here when I can build it up there now? There you go. See? That's much better. Right, and I'll tell you what, we'll build a machine pit as well. What are the demons up to then? We've got a Razorback with a heavy flamer on it. Shadow Fiends, Green Horrors, Pink Horrors. Demons are freaking weird, man. They are really weird. The closest I've ever got to demons in 40k is, you know, thinking about maybe using them in my Chaos Marine army as summonable creatures, because you can summon demons with Chaos Space Marines. But even then, it's sort of like, meh. Why summon demons when you can just have more Chaos Space Marines, am I right? You know? Anyway. So, why don't we get... Now we've got this machine pit up and running, let's get... Chaos Dreadnought. Actually, you know what? I don't want a Chaos Dreadnought. If I was playing Khorne, yeah, sure, Chaos Dreadnought. Actually, though, because I'm Death Guard, let's get some Vindicators instead. Blow things up from a distance, and maybe a Hell Talon as well. Oh, not enough power, never mind then.
We are the Plague God's will.
We are the Plague God's will.
Seek out the deluded. Seek out the deluded.
They're charming fellows, aren't they, Plague Marines?
Lord.
I actually quite like the Death Guard in their own weird, morbid way. I think I prefer Khorne and World Eaters, but still, they're not bad. I have 2 groups of Chaos on the tabletop game, at the moment. I have a World Eater's army, which is full of Berserkers and Khan the Betrayer and a couple of Demon Princes, and it's all just totally melee-based. And I've got, like I said, a few bits of Death Guard from the old starter set, which I do want to expand on, but unfortunately, like I said, I can't. Most of the units I want aren't available to buy yet. Like, they've got these cool tanks, they're called, like, Plague Husk Crawlers or something like that. And, like, they're these artillery mortar tank things that are totally unique to the Death Guard, and they look really awesome, and they have some pretty cool stats, too. So I desperately kind of want some of those, but unfortunately, can't get them yet, sadly. Hope you don't mind me talking about the tabletop game as I play this game, because obviously it's a big hobby of mine, and this is directly related to it, but if it bores you to tears, then I do apologize. But I find a lot of people that do still bother to play Dawn of War, they're also tabletop fanatics themselves, or at least they used to play it. I don't want to proselytize to you too much here, but if you're someone who was like me who hasn't played 40k in years, this current edition is not a bad one to get back into it. Actually, they've disentangled the horrible mess that the game previously became in the earlier editions, and they've actually made it a lot more fun again now, in my opinion. Still expensive as shit, though, of course. Some things never change. But hey, what are you gonna do, I suppose?
Lord, where can we take the armies of chaos?
Alright, we're just snowballing Plague Marines up here, and I think soon enough we'll go kick some ass before the demons completely buckle under the assault they're getting right now. In fact, I think we probably ought to move out right away, really. Can we get some Terminators? No, we can't. What do we need? A Demon Pit. Right.
Whatever you desire.
You guys better go build me a Demon Pit somewhere then. Right. Time for us to move out. Now, should we go up here and help with this little battle, or should we head straight, make a beeline for the Ultramarines base? That is the question. I feel like I should probably go for their base, honestly. Hello. Oh, hello, boys. Oh, they're already dead. Okay. Moving on. Right, their base should be... Oh, where is it going to be? I'm assuming in the corner somewhere. It's up here, I guess? Ah, Mr. Servitor. We'll just follow him, shall we? Oh, hello. Looks like they've diverted some of their dudes over here because they've realised I'm coming to their base. Destroy them! Those are the melter guns going off, those flamethrowery things you saw there. Melter guns weren't in the vanilla game at all, actually, even though they're such an important part of the tabletop game. Oddly enough. Right, that's Chaplain's dead. Good. Who have we got here? Chief Librarian. Yeah, I think we definitely want him dead. Use a bit of psychic shenanigans. Perfect. Let's do the acid vomit stuff. Why not? Now, of course, the nice thing about Plague Marines is they're super resilient, unlike these cultists and renegades. Oh, another thing you will have undoubtedly noticed by this point about this mod, you can zoom out really far versus the vanilla game, which is really helpful. God, where are they all coming from? This is mad. Look at our wonderful pestilence everywhere. It's fantastic, isn't it? Just a big tumor on the landscape rolling around, killing people. It's awesome. in a really horrifying way. Let's blow this crap up. Actually, let's kill these servitors first. Otherwise, I'll just keep repairing stuff. Oh wow, they're actually building minefields. I don't think I've ever seen the AI do that before. I'm a little bit surprised, honestly. You will note, by the way, that none of our Plague Marines have died yet. They are all kinds of resilient. Unlike the cultists, obviously, but hey, that's fine, you know, that's what the cultists are there for, to soak up damage. Meanwhile, the demons are having some fun with all their crazy stuff. Fiends of Slaanesh and a debaser of Slaanesh. And the Chaos Demons AI seems to really like all the Slaanesh units for some reason. I can't imagine why. But they always build Slaanesh stuff. They never build Khorne or Nurgle or Tzeentch stuff, really. Very rarely, anyway. See, these cultists are dead useful, they really are. They just get up in people's faces and distract them from shooting while the rest of this lot can do their thing. Plus they have this Worship Nurgle ability, which buffs everybody. As if Plague Marines needed more health, but you know. Actually, you know what? Let's not give you melter guns, let's give you missile launchers. They have extra firepower versus the tanks we keep running into. We've got some melter guns, but the problem with melter guns is you have to get pretty close. There we go. Now we're getting into their base. Looks like the Imperial Guard are about to get demoned. Yeah, see, there you go. Demon Prince of Slaanesh. They always build the Demon Prince of Slaanesh, never any of the other ones. I don't know why. I guess the AI just thinks the stats on them are better or something. Don't know, really. To be fair, if I was playing this a bit more lore accurately, I would have built more tanks. Because the Pallid Hand are all about tanks. That's their thing. But whatever. It seems to have gotten the job done. Actually, no. You know what? Focus fire on this machine pit first. Machine cult, sorry. Before you deal with the chaplain. I don't want them spawning more tanks in my face, honestly. There we go. Uh-oh. Orbital Barrage incoming. Oh, this is going to hurt. Oh, boy. They may actually kill some Plague Marines now, finally. Oh, God. Oh, they're nuking my heretics and cultists and stuff. That ain't good. Yeah, there goes a couple of Plague Marines. Yeah, those brother captains with their orbital bombardments are annoying. I'm going to have to turn down the sound on this loads in editing because it is crazy loud at my end. In fact, I'm going to turn my headset down. So much noise. How about we throw some plague grenades at you? Why not? Have some plagues. Oh, little bubbles everywhere. So cool. All the effects and stuff for this mod are awesome. I have to admit, I'm a little bit more sold on Plague Marines now. I mean, the last time I used them, admittedly, was against the Tau, who are much better at shooting. And they outnumbered me by a silly degree by the time I managed to get around to building some Plague Marines, so it was probably not a fair judge of the contest, although I've noticed that they're all kind of equipped with big Plague Knife things, so I wonder if they're better in close combat than they are in range. In fact, they are slightly, according to this. That's interesting. I mean, they default to ranged, but they're all equipped for close combat, except for the guys with the melters and stuff. And that is the Ultramarines wiped out. Mortarion would be proud. And the guard must be about to die as well, because their base just doesn't even exist anymore. Yeah, they've got a little base over here, which I have a feeling we probably won't get to in time. I think the demons are probably going to squish it before we can get there, but hey. We'll give it a try. Look at all my Nurgly warriors running along. Ah, it's fantastic. I love how they just exude pestilence wherever they go. Like it goes on the ground as well, like creep. It's so good. Ah, that's what Plague Marines should look like. That's certainly how I imagine them in my head. I'm playing the tabletop game. There's a great bit in the opening bit of the Death Guard Codex, actually. Oh, they've got some stuff over here we can destroy. Where it describes what a Death Guard assault is like, and it starts off, and all you hear is this sort of roaring, buzzing noise in the distance, which is just thousands and thousands and thousands of flies getting closer and closer. And then as the wind picks up, you start to smell them before you can see them. And then you hear, just over the din of all the roaring, buzzing sound of all these insects, you just hear bells. Because the Death Guard have this thing about bells for some reason. And they have these guys who march in front of the army called Noxious Whitebringers, I think, and they have these big bells on their backs that they ring constantly. It's and then you just see them emerging out of like the pestilent fog, and they're all just sort of marching along really super slow, because they're really slow. That's the thing. Like, they're really tough, but they're, holy shit, everything is getting nuked right now by this Lord of Change. Oh my god. They're super slow, but they're also super resilient. Oh, there's a great unclean one. Sweet. Hello, fatty. How are you doing? That guy's awesome. I think we can build one of those, actually, as Chaos Marines, now that I think about it, but we haven't progressed nearly far enough up the tech tree to do any of that kind of nonsense. The only problem with Ultimate Apocalypse and all its amazing, like, really long tech trees with Titan units and super heavy and gigantic demons and stuff, look at it go, is that games rarely seem to last long enough for you to actually use any of those units. Like, I've only used an actual Titan twice in the entire time I've played this game, and the first time I used a Titan was because I deliberately went easy on the AI and made the game last a lot longer than it had to in order to use the damn Titan. So how's that gone? Wow, these guard are just really, really persistent. They've just spread out bases everywhere, haven't they? Oh look, it's my Vindicators. I forgot to tell him to go elsewhere, and he just blew up a Basilisk because he's a boss, apparently. Quite a bit of damage, don't they, these Vindicators, I've got to admit. That Demolisher Cannon on the front of it is no joke. Oh, it's a Blight drone. I thought it looked kind of weirdly familiar. It's another weird bit of Nurgly equipment. Now, for some reason, you're not part of Group 1. That's a big juggernaut of corn. Just doing his thing. You have annihilated the enemy. Would you like to look around the map before continuing? Why not? Have a little butchers around. So, we won that pretty handily. Yeah, the Plague Marines were just freaking impossible to kill. I mean, they launched an Orbital Barrage on them, right slap bang in the middle of them. And I think he killed, like, 3 Plague Marines in total. That was it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Although I have to admit, I was playing a very shooty army this time. Maybe next time I'll get some Chaos Dreadnoughts and set all these guys into melee mode and see how they perform. Because according to the stats here, they do more damage in melee, weirdly enough. Even though they all default to ranged, so... But, yeah, whatever. Plague Marines, pretty cool as it turns out. And a surprising number of our cultists and renegades survived. Which surprises me more than you can imagine, but nevertheless, there you go. I mean, the renegades are surprisingly useful, like I said. They've got their mortars, and you can give them missile launchers as well, so they make a good sort of backup unit that can sit at the back of the army and just snipe away with those high-power weapons at vehicles and things. So, that's the Great Unclean one. I think he's based on the Forge world. Actual plastic. I mean, well, it's not even plastic, is it? Resin model for the tabletop from Forge World. You can get of the Great Unclean one. It looks just like that, with the guts leaking out through the hole in his belly there and the big antlers and stuff. I think Great Unclean ones are kind of cool, actually. At least these ones, anyway. The regular Games Workshop ones you can get don't look quite so cool, but hey. And what else we got? We got a bunch of stuff. We got some Plague Bearers. We got some Demonettes. We got a big Demon Prince of Slaanesh, who, frankly, is creepy as shit, actually. Something about the mask. And then this Herald of Slaanesh, who is also pretty freaking weird. Slaanesh creeps me out. That really, really does. Just plain odd. And look at that thing. Ugh. It's like an army of inflatable sex dolls on top of giant robotic crabs. It's just, nah. Nope. I'll take an Urgle or Khorne any day over that shit. Or even Tzeentch and his LSD-inspired troops of dudes with chariots and glowing, like, manta ray things. And, God, yeah, Tzeentch is weird as well. Yeah, Khorne and Nurgle are definitely my favorites, in case that wasn't obvious. But anyway, let's go ahead and quit the battle. Apparently this video has been 40 minutes so far, which is probably an ideal length, really. If I played a battle any bigger than that, it could have dragged on for quite a while. Well, the battle itself was only 28 minutes. It just goes to show how much random talking I do in between the actual battle itself. That's probably a bad sign, isn't it? It's probably going to have, like, it's going to be another one of those videos where it's 10 minutes of me talking about random crap at the beginning instead of actually playing the game. I apologize. So we didn't win on military. The demons did, surprisingly enough. Well, mind you, they were doing a lot more fighting than I was. I was just kind of sitting around in the middle of the map, building up a big blob of plague marines for most of the game. One on resources and technology, though, because I wasn't building stuff. Like, I was just hoarding requisition and power for most of it and not actually building things. Yep, they won that pretty much hands down. They killed the most units. They lost the least units. They destroyed the most buildings. Not bad. Although the Imperial Guard had the biggest army, to nobody's surprise. Although not by much, actually. Not by much at all. Anyway. Yeah, see, look at that. Requisition and power gathered. And spent as well. I spent the least out of everybody on both resources, as it seems, yeah. Dear me. I also got the most unit upgrades and the most reinforced units, although that seems to happen whatever you play, honestly. The AI doesn't upgrade their units or reinforce them nearly as efficiently enough. But, whatever. Alright. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching. That was another Dawn of War skirmish, this time with the Ultimate Apocalypse mod, which so many of you recommended, and I did check out and was pleasantly surprised. I recommend getting it yourself if you want to. It's fairly easy to install, and my god, has it got replay value to a slightly silly degree. I've been playing this for like a good week or two now while I was off ill, and I still haven't even touched some of the new races yet, like the Inquisition and the Demons. So, and Tyranids I've only played once, so yeah. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got suggestions for what we could do, for future battles you want to see, I mean, who do you want to see me play as next? We've done Chaos now, that leaves... well, we can obviously revisit the Space Marines Imperial Guard, because they are quite different now with this mod than they were in the vanilla game. Very different, especially as far as the Space Marines are concerned. They're very, very, very different now. But yeah, there's also the Nids, the Orcs, the Inquisition, the Demons, the Dark Eldar, the Sisters of Battle. Those were the two races added by the Soulstorm expansion. I could just quickly show you those, actually. Because you wouldn't have seen them before if you've never played Soulstorm, and because we were doing Dark Crusade earlier. The Sisters of Battle. That's these chicks. They are warriors of the church, basically, in the 40k lore. There's like a rule. There's a law in the 40k universe in the Imperium that the church can't recruit men to fight for it in its armies, and there's a loophole basically that allows them to recruit women instead, and that's why the Sisters of Battle exist, in case you were wondering. And then there's the... Where are they? Then there's the Dark Eldar, who are like the Eldar, but, super evil. and all look like they've jumped off a heavy metal album cover. They're an acquired taste, the Dark Eldar. I'm not sure I quite get the appeal myself, but some people like them a lot. So, but yeah, I mean, we'll end up playing them eventually. I'm sure. I'll play all of the races at some point, but it's just a question of really, what do you want to see next, folks? It's up to you. I'll leave it up to you. You can say in the comments what you'd like to see next, what you prefer, and I'll catch you next time. So, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you then.